If you have a conflict, you know your truth, and you feel like you're wronged, and you approach someone and you say, hey, I would like to talk about this. I am feeling X way because of something you did.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore, but I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office.
The lowest blows yesterday came from Elon. He said, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be...
And they sit there and deny and twist it and flip it on you and try to make themselves the victim.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video on this beautiful morning. Good morning to you all. And thank you again for joining. Please hit that like button, subscribe. We're growing rapidly. And I appreciate your support in this fight of continuously bringing you the latest information, news, updates, and most importantly, the truth. And I urge you, folks, please stick around until the end because I've got a massive bombshell that I want to drop on you, not only from Caroline Levitt, but also from Trish Regan. Perhaps maybe a message that needs to be shared. Help this video go viral. Make sure that everybody knows the truth of what's happening, or better yet, what has happened, what is happening, and more than likely what we want to see happen in the future. And our president that we voted for, that we authorized this mandate of, what he's doing in the White House to make sure that that happens. Unlike the Biden administration, for which I think Caroline Levitt said that she heard Karine Jean-Pierre, who now ditched the Democrats and is running away from the left as fast as she possibly can, said that she didn't show up to work until around noon because there really wasn't much going on.
Caroline Levitt, you saw the news about KJP, your predecessor, today. She has left the Democrat Party and she's going to write a tell-all book.
Well, I'm not sure what she's going to tell all about because I've heard from some sources here at the White House, Howie, that KJP didn't roll into work some days until noon. So there wasn't much going on here at the White House with her boss, so I don't think there will be much good stuff to read in that book, but perhaps I'll be proven wrong. We'll see.
That's why she needed the binder. It was like an open book test every day. You don't need a binder, do you, Caroline?
No binder here, Howie. The binder's in my brain.
That should tell you all you need to know, folks. But we've got a lot to cover here. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully it provides value. Hopefully maybe even clarity in this crazy world of biased media and social media chaos that we are finding ourselves in the middle of. I want to let you guys know that we have a lot to discuss, or at least that I want to share with you on this video. We've got Charlie Kirk, we've got Caroline Levitt, we've got Joe Rogan, we've got Kash Patel, we've got even Trish Regan. And congratulations to Trish Regan for breaking YouTube's top 100 podcasts. Congratulations. Perhaps maybe, I don't know where we fall on that list, but we can rank our way up each and every day with each and every video, and perhaps maybe even incorporating some live streams if you guys would like that. Let me know in the comments section, and feel free to dive into the description and pinned comment because that's where I'm putting all the links. If you want, there's a way to contact me directly if you want to join the community. This is a community for folks looking to grow and build and elevate and progress throughout this all, regardless of what's happening in Washington, D.C. or on X, and driving up our earnings, our increasing our revenue, producing wealth, and becoming better invested in our generational wealth. So if that interests you, feel free, come on over. Or if you just want to drop by and show your love and support, greatly appreciate it. I've got links as well for our partner chapter, providing free Medicare help, free Medicare assistance and consultation by their trained experts. Many of you have called already and left comments saying that chapter has been phenomenal, very helpful, and even saved you money. And if that includes you, then Let your voice be heard. Drop a comment. Let everybody know how much money you are saving now thanks to having called Chapter, and just ask the simple question. Hey, I saw you on Kevin's video. I dialed the number and I just want to know, can you help me save money on my Medicare? Can you help me find the best plan for me? And for those of you who want more information, I've got other videos that does far deeper dives into Chapter and their resources, their tools, their technology, their staff, their funding, their backing, their mission, and ultimately their promise. And that promise is to make sure that seniors and folks on Medicare do not get taken advantage of. Period, point blank, end of story. The number's on the screen, 270-467-2426. Visit their website at www.askchapter.org/Kevin, Kevin, and just give them a shout and give them a call. It takes 2 seconds. They're not going to call you. They're not going to bug you. They're not going to harass or hound you. They are only simply there for you to call for help if you so choose. And for those of you who may not necessarily be in an enrollment period or an time frame where you can make any changes, then they'll let you know, or perhaps maybe fill you in on some Medicare options that you may not be aware of, that a lot of folks just aren't because of how complex and convoluted and complicated it is. A lot of folks are pleasantly surprised after making that call, and many of whom even said, I'm not in the window, but I appreciate it, and I'm already on the list to call back when I am in the window to take advantage of money savings opportunities and improve plans, the best plan for them. It's not a one size fits all. And that's why it's so important to have somebody on your side and on your team like Chapter to help you navigate the complexities of Medicare. We've all seen the stories, the headlines, the news. It is not necessarily something that we enjoy, but at least if you have somebody on your team to help you make sure that you're making smart choices and decisions, and why not take advantage of a free opportunity and free service? Just give them a call, 270-467-2426, and tell them Kevin sent you. That's enough of me yapping. I look forward to reading your comments and connecting with you guys in the community. Don't forget to check out the links below. Now let's get the video started.
Came from Elon. He said, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be...
And they sit there and deny and twist it and flip it on you and try to make themselves the victim. It's belittling. It can feel invalidating, and worse, it can feel disorienting.
Is Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files? Look, honestly, I'm so sick of this.
Because no matter how firmly you stand in your truth and you know what happened and you know where fault lies, if someone chooses to gaslight you, you're suddenly questioning your reality. And it's an extremely lonely place to be, especially when it's only two of you who know the truth. So it is just you screaming into a void. And this person is just like a wall. And sometimes it feels impossible to get through to them. But this is why I was saying, if they are not willing to self-reflect, if they are not willing to take accountability, they won't.
First of all, as you know, President Trump and Elon Musk are fighting. I have a lot of respect for both of them and very thankful for what Elon did for purchasing X. Just so you know, President Trump's name was actually in the Epstein files going back to February. That's right. In February, they were there. And look, this idea that he's on the clients list or some nonsense, being in Palm Beach, of course you're going to be listed in a long document. He was once friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and then he kicked him out of his club for being creepy towards young girls. It's very important to note that all this online nonsense, just go and look back. President Trump's own administration released Epstein files back in February where his own name was mentioned, not as a criminal.
Additionally, we have a really important piece of video. This comes to us from a lawyer who represented 70 of Epstein's victims, who said that the only guy that he got in touch with who was very helpful to going after Jeffrey Epstein was one Donald J. Trump. Take a look, cut 3 here. This lawyer, again, who represented Epstein victims, who said Trump's the good guy in this story. Look.
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas, on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them. He is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
And that was in 2009?
That was in 2009. So,
do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
I've definitely heard that.
I've definitely heard that. Okay, so that gets to the next piece of evidence in Trump's favor. President Trump, by now, you likely know, but for those who don't, he banished Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for harassing a member's daughter. Take a look here. This is an old CNBC report on the subject, but I want to make sure you get a hold of it here. Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after the sex criminal hit on another member's daughter.
It's very important to note that all this online nonsense, just go and look back. President Trump's own administration released Epstein files back in February where his own name was mentioned, not as a criminal, not as doing anything wrong, in fact, for acting correctly and properly.
Hey guys, this is Savannah Hernandez in front of the White House with, yes, one of those Epstein file binders. Now, I want to clear something up immediately and state that nobody from the Trump admin gave us these binders and said, you guys are going to be the ones responsible for disseminating this information. They actually told us that there's going to be a press conference at any moment now, most likely this afternoon, in which all of the information in this binder is made available to the American public. Now, Pam this morning stated to us that some of the information in here is already public, and she doesn't really feel that any of this information is a smoking gun. The big story here is Pam writing a letter to Kash Patel asking him to investigate why the FBI has stopped the release of other portions of the Epstein files.
The narrative has always been that there's video. But what about the video from the island?
Again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Right, if you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
And is there video from the island?
Not of what you want.
So this narrative might not be accurate, that there's video of these guys doing this.
Exactly.
Have you guys reviewed everything that you have?
Almost. Yes, we have, and now we're figuring out how to put it out.
But is there footage?
If there was footage of anyone doing anything else, we would have opened a case.
There are tens of thousands of videos. Yeah, and it's all with little kids.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
So that is what is currently going on, and I wanted to come out as a journalist as well and state that, again, we are not responsible for deciding what does or does not come out. All of the information in this binder will be made public. Pam Bondi herself stated that she wants all of the Epstein files to be made public to the American people, not just to influencers or independent journalists, but that in itself has been a process. Now, one of the reasons why I have this is because the Trump admin right now is making a big push for not only transparency, but being welcoming to independent journalists who might have been looked down on, ignored, or even censored over the last 4 years. This administration is making a big push right now to allow American people to come into the Oval Office, to come into the White House and directly talk to the president, the vice president, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, RFK Jr. about what they are going to be doing for the American people. So it's really interesting to see how this administration is handling the media, and allowing independent people, American citizens, to come into the Oval Office and talk directly to highest members of the administration. So I wanted to give you guys my update on this. There will be a press conference. All of this will be made public.
You must separate fact from fiction on this. It's too bad Elon and Trump are fighting. In fact, I did an entire episode on this, an entire podcast on this that I hope you guys check out. But no, oh my goodness, Donald Trump's in the Epstein files. You know what? Maybe you should actually go read the Epstein files that are already publicly available. And yes, President Trump was mentioned in no criminal way whatsoever. And we're trying to also believe that after 10 years, they finally got Donald Trump in some way because he's being accused by Elon because there's like this massive social media food fight. Not true. Total BS, fake news. And we stand with Team America as President Trump continues to fight for the future of Western civilization.
That's right, Sean. And tonight, the president's focus and the focus of the entire White House remains on passing the One Big Beautiful Bill. And as your audience just saw on Friday, just days ago, the president graciously hosted Elon Musk in the Oval Office, and Elon thanked the president for his incredible leadership to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in our government, which this One Big Beautiful Bill does. So the only difference between Friday and today is Elon went back to his companies, and as a businessman, he has a right to speak for his companies. But as President Trump has a responsibility to fight for this country. And the One Big Beautiful Bill is the most historic piece of legislation that has moved through Capitol Hill in modern day history. Not only does this bill provide the largest tax cut for middle class and working class families, it extends the Trump tax cuts in 2017. It also delivers on President Trump's key campaign promises that he went around the country and spoke to voters across the country about, to huge applause. No tax on tips for our service workers, no tax on overtime for our law enforcement officers who are putting in extra work, having details to put food on the table. The Fraternal Order of the Police was at the White House today endorsing this piece of legislation specifically because of the no tax on overtime provision. This bill also effectively eliminates tax on Social Security for our hardworking seniors. And not only that, it provides huge savings for the American taxpayers. $1.6 trillion in savings. We can't solve our nation's decades-old debt crisis overnight. President Trump is practical and realistic about that. But this bill is a huge, monumental step in the right direction, and it also provides critical funding for border security. It will hire more ICE and Border Patrol agents across the country, which we desperately need to carry out the mass deportation effort that is underway. And this bill also provides critical infrastructure for our national security and funding for the Golden Dome, which is another signature campaign promise of President Trump's. Look, President Trump is the unequivocal leader of the Republican Party, and this bill is going to pass.
And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the Trish Regan Show. A very big day once again here on the program. The auto pen investigation is heating up in a massive way, and now Donald Trump is making sure that that doctor's coming in. He's getting subpoenaed as we speak. We're going to get all into all of it. Meanwhile, KGP, she's flinging her party. I mean, she can't get out of the place fast enough, right? What's going on there? This is the woman who is Biden's press spokesperson, one of the worst, by the way, I'm just going to tell you. I mean, Jen Psaki had it all over her, but she lied and she lied and she lied and she lied. She was like the chief liar. And now, all of a sudden, as the auto pen investigation heats up, she's fleeing her entire party. We're going to talk about that. Some people making the point that she is quite the grifter. A huge book coming out, Can't let Jake make all the money now, can we? All right, Trump breaking up with Elon Musk. That news just hitting the tape. We've got the sound for you. And by the way, I got to show you these stunning new poll numbers on Donald Trump, proving that all he is doing is working for the American people. What do you know?